Laserbeak, prepare for flight. Course heading northeast.
Hello everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. And today I'm coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina. Yes. Alright guys, we are back for another visit with Laserbeak to Richland Mall in beautiful Columbia, obviously, as mentioned a few moments ago. So we are going to show you the current status of the demolition of this mall. And one of the big advances that has happened so far is that the Parisian is fully gone. And as you see behind the facade of Barnes & Noble, that's all gone too. Now we are going to go nice and close in a lot of our shots coming up here, so definitely stay tuned. The first time I was here, maybe it was about a month ago, it was my first or second day having Laserbeak, and I did not get that close to a lot of the demo site. I was obviously scared that I was going to lose the drone. Now I'm a little bit more confident with it after flying it a few more times, and I think you are really going to enjoy some of this demolition that you are about to see. Now what we'll do is we will go ahead and start to head a little bit closer here. And by the way, I've got some other great drone videos coming up, so definitely make sure that you subscribe and put on your notifications. I have an awesome drone video of south of the border coming up on the state line of North Carolina and South Carolina on Route 95. Also, I have a few abandoned motels, one here in Columbia and the other one in Orangeburg, South Carolina. And actually that motel in Orangeburg, I am being told, was formerly student housing for South Carolina State College. So definitely subscribe. You are really going to dig these abandoned motels, and I'm working on them right now. I think you guys are going to dig them. Also, I have an upcoming video for a fireworks stand that has recently closed in Hardeeville, South Carolina. Actually, a very historic stand that has some amazing elephants on the outside. Some of you might know what I'm talking about, so definitely stay tuned. All right, so now we are going to take a look behind the facade there. So all of that facade of the old Barnes & Noble is gone. This Barnes & Noble was actually pretty cool. I visited here a few times, even though the mall was closed. Belk was the only thing that was open. And it's just really shocking to see how this currently is sitting. Now, this is all getting redeveloped, by the way, so for those of you that don't know, all of this is going to go away, I believe, minus maybe one or two of the anchors. I'm not sure if the Belk building is still staying, and maybe what was the Dillards, but even before it was Dillards, it was something else. So guys, remind me in the comments. Now, this, as we start to zoom down here and you see the Black Pyramid area, this is where you would actually park on the deck, on the ceiling, or on the ceiling of the roof of the mall. And a really unique design, because this mall was the sister mall to Cincinnati Mills, or Forest Fair as it originally was. Shout out to Sal. Sal did a great video on this mall during the pandemic, so definitely check it out. He was able to get some amazing footage when this mall was really in its final days of being accessible to anybody before obviously folks started breaking in. Now as we start to zoom down a little bit here, you're going to see how little by little, bit by bit, this mall is being carted away. And you'll see here, for those of you that have been to this mall, maybe you'll recognize some of these store areas. And as we move a little bit to the left here, you're going to see the brass rings that were where the elevator was, and that was still in view when you would go to the Barnes & Noble. You'd be able to go into the area that would have been the doors into the mall, and you could still see that elevator area, and I believe there were some fountains in front of that elevator, so please let me know in the comments if I am wrong or right there. So we're going to zoom in a few shots. We've got a 2x and a 4x zoom on Laserbeak. So in this one, I think I'm at a 2x, and then as we get a little bit closer, you'll see a 4x. Really good video, by the way, for those of you that are interested in possibly doing some drone on your channels. I have the DJI Mini 3. very impressive. The only thing that it does not have object sensors, so it will not be able to let you know if you are getting close to a wall, a bush, a tree. So that's a little bit concerning, and that's why I do tend to stay away from any of the structures just a little bit back. Now right there, take a look at that mural. That is the mural that a lot of Barnes & Nobles have near their cafe area, and a lot of famous authors through the decades are on that mural. Now, I don't know if that was actually hand painted or if that was just an image that was just put on the wall. I assume it was just an image that was put on the wall. But really cool that they haven't ripped that down yet. I wonder if they're saving that for somebody. Not that that's a historic piece, but whenever you go into a Barnes & Noble, usually if it's a nice Barnes & Noble, they'll have that mural there, which is pretty cool. So there is some of the parking deck that is attached to the Belk, and as we take a look into the Belk, it looks like we've got some gondolas in there, and they don't have any jeans or pants on them, so kind of disappointing. So I'm not going to be able to do any shopping today. But as we take a look at the rest of the Belk and all of the concrete that is on the ground, we'll zoom in a little bit here, a little bit more. I guess this was probably the entrances, as you see the marble there and the glue. So those were the entrances from the mall corridor into the Belk, I believe. And if I'm wrong, obviously let me know, but I'm pretty sure that that would be the only reason those marble panels were there. And yeah, you see all the wiring, all of the metal. Wow. And I'm just watching this video for the first time with you guys, actually, as I'm doing this voiceover. And it's pretty amazing to see this. Now, during my first visit to the mall, there actually was a foreman on site. He came up to me. I think he thought I was going to try getting on the property. First, please don't go to the property and go into these areas. These are very unsafe, guys. If you do plan on going here, please just film or just do a drone. Don't enter the structure. You are really putting yourself at risk. Not only do you put yourself at risk, but also the EMTs and first responders that would need to come and save you if you possibly get hurt. And that has happened also at Century 3. So please do not enter this property. It is fenced off. There is security here. So anyway, getting back to that foreman, he came up to me and he said, "Hey, you're not trying to get in the mall, are you?" I said, No. I said, I'm just a kind of a vague urbexer. I don't even like using that term. I'm a big dead mall enthusiast. And I told him, I'm just going to send the drone up and check it out. He goes, "Oh yeah, no problem. I actually should have asked the guy if there were any signage or anything that I might be able to get. As you take a look at the old lights, now we are going to start to head over to where the Parisian was. We're going to fly over Belk. And as you take a look at the roof there, they have all the vent holes punched out, possibly for light and also some air to get into the Belk area as they are taking stuff out of the Belk during demolition. I think probably those AC units, those HVAC units probably will be scrapped. That's obviously a lot of metal there. But the vent holes that are in the roof, rain's getting in there, it's getting even nastier, but obviously it doesn't matter anymore because it's going to be taken down. So actually, now that I said that, I guess the Belk building is not staying. If they've got the holes cut in the roof, then Mother Nature has full access. Now, everywhere that you're looking right now, guys, you'll see the roadway that's on the edge near the trees. That's actually the roadway that I used to be able to take to go to the back of the mall, back where they used to have a pickup area underneath the Verizon call center. There is the roadway that would come from the parking deck. That's a standalone parking deck that would bring you up onto the deck that is on the roof of the mall. And I've driven that several times. That's actually one time where I met a security guard that came up on his golf cart. Nice guy, didn't, wasn't rude or anything, but he just asked me, "Hey, what are you doing up here?" I said, "I'm just a dead mall enthusiast, seen a lot of YouTube videos." And that was actually my first video here for Richland Mall, and that probably goes back, that might have been my second or third video that I started to do in the dead mall realm. And so as we take a look down here, you'll see some of the cherry pickers that are in place to, I guess, pull away some of the materials that maybe the excavators are not able to get to. And it's really cool to see how they've got everything down to the concrete slab. And really great process here. They're doing a really good job at demoing this mall. I hope things are going to be really fast on the redevelopment and that they are able to get this property up to where it needs to be for the residents of Columbia. And the plans for it are listed online. Certainly do a Google search and you'll be able to check them out. This is going to be a mixed-use property, as most malls are becoming across our country. So you're going to have retail, I think you're going to have office space, and you are also going to have residences. So these mixed-use properties, I know a lot of people don't like them, but you know what? It's much better than having a rotting mall that is nothing but black mold on the inside and is unsafe for everybody, that really is not salvageable. Now, here you see, I guess hanging down, it almost looks like a corrugated steel that was part of the structure for either the roof. Yeah, so that's the roof. So that must be all the tar paper and any of the materials that were used to seal the roof before they lay a gravel and a tar down. And we get a little bit closer there. So off to the left, take a look in that pink area. That looks like it's one of the cash register areas, maybe for the Parisian back in the day. Those brown doors, maybe they were fitting rooms back in the day. And the corrugated, either rubber or steel that's hanging down there, that kind of reminds me of lasagna. So remember when Ma used to make lasagna, right? She put it in the pan and she put down the lasagna pasta and then the meat, the sauce, the cheese, the ricotta. I know I'm saying ricotta. Yes, I am part Italian. I don't say everything like an Italian, even though I am from Jersey. I don't kick it full soprano style, and I don't say prosciutto. So let's go ahead and continue to look around here. This is just really great to see that things are progressing very fast at the mall. And again, if for any of you that are local to the mall or used to go here years ago, please let me know your experiences, put them in the chat. And also big shout out, oh, look how they cut that right there. So that must have been where the expansion joint was because that's such a clean cut. It's probably where the expansion joint was for that roadway. And they used to have cones up there that you wouldn't be able to get onto that side, but you could go in another spot to get up to all of the black glass gondola areas that were used to walk down into the mall from the parking deck. Zoom in a little bit more here. Wow. This is great. And then also, I guess this was the 3-level part of the mall. So you've got one, yeah, this looks like it's the 3rd level. Also, was there a basement in this mall? I know basements are not common in South Carolina. Not that this is the low country, this is actually considered the mid country of the state. And because this is about an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes from Charleston. But was there a basement at this mall? Let me know. I don't remember Sal's video pointing out a basement, but maybe there was for storage purposes. And also, I wonder if the parking deck is going to be staying. It's a very unique parking deck. The few times that I came here, the parking deck absolutely had no lighting. It was kind of scary. It was all waterlogged. There was lots of puddles. And so that road there that you see where all the cars are driving, you could just pull into the parking deck. There's just a little tiny entrance. Like if you weren't paying attention and you were on that road, you could pass by the parking deck easily. There really didn't seem to be a lot of signs on the road letting people know that, hey, this is where Richland Mall was. I'm sure the locals obviously knew where it was. And then behind the mall, you have residences. So that's another unique thing about this mall. The property for the mall butts right up to residences, which is really, really rare. And as we look back there, again, you see the back of the Barnes & Noble facade, and we're going to start to go check it out. Yeah, so I guess the Belk is going. I guess that was the part of the Parisian maybe that's still up. I thought Parisian was fully gone, and the Barnes & Noble fully gone minus the facade. Really cool. Yep. I was driving around on top of that roof with my car. No. Yeah. Yeah, I hate seeing it go. I wish I was able to see this mall before it closed, but you know, at least I get to experience it in its final days of existence and at least standing. I'll come back to the mall and I'll film maybe 1 or 2 more times as things start to get totally taken away here. I'm pretty sure the next time I come back, the Barnes & Noble facade will probably be gone. The facade where the sign for Richland will probably be gone also. And we'll say our final goodbyes to everything on the property here for the Richland Mall. We'll spin back around and we will bring Laserbeak back home, and we will get on with our day and go film some other spots here in Columbia. And then also, as I mentioned, we hit a few spots in Orangeburg on the way back towards Charleston. So there it is, guys. Gonna bring it down. And if anybody wants to use this video, certainly feel free. If you are doing anything about the mall, I definitely like to share with everybody. And also, big shout out to everybody that watches my videos. I really appreciate you joining in. We've got a lot of great folks on my channel, and you're really cool. You love joking around with me and sharing some experiences. And again, I really appreciate you joining. We are very lucky that we don't really have any jerks that come and watch the channel, so I'm very thankful for that. All right, guys, so final call here. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Return.